In 1994, the #1 producer of these products started his operations in India. I cursed. I said, how can government allow a small sector being killed? Like a typical thing, yes, okay. I mean,
competition coming in.
God, what is this?
Big brother coming in.
But when I look back, thanks that he came. Because the standards were taken up. Otherwise, we would have continued to make what was accepted because we didn't know what we want. So liberalization and this kind of things.
Global competition is helping.
It's a must. It is a must. Maybe my company has clicked. That's why I'm saying this. But please don't interpret that. Okay, I'm on the right side. Therefore, I'm saying this. I was on the wrong side on many things, but then I could bring our company to the right side, coming to those standards.
What is the China experience? Is it something you are mentioning?
China experience. Connectwell has a sales subsidiary in China. So we are selling goods to Chinese market. How it happened?
Is it a tough market too?
It is not an easy market. Would be a better term. It so happened like during all this foreign exposure, like in overseas exposures, every year going to exhibitions. In China, we participated 3 times in Shanghai exhibition. Proper, nothing, no response. Promises. We would leave our products, displays, come back with calculators. We are going to have so much business. Nothing would happen. It would go zero. So coincidentally, we came across a person who had retired from one of the top companies in the Europe of the same products. We became friends. He offered. He had 30 years of experience in Eastern market, Far East. He said, China doesn't work like that. You need to be present there. So, under his guidance, we took this step of making a rep office, not a sales office, which means we were allowed to book orders, not stop there. And there, I don't consider myself as a specialist, but as the specialist would say, marketing specialist, that famous pyramid, sales pyramid. The top 1/3 is high price, high quality. Bottom third, low price, low quality. So he told us, you are on the mid-level, you say the quality of top, price of bottom, matching. Give it. So you can penetrate the market. Yes, China has still not given us our investments back. We have taken this as a strategic decision, so we don't expect. It's only a year and a half that it started paying us back. And just one of the incidents on China, because China is always considered as who are glutting our market. Because China for us is number 3 in the world market. Number 1 is Europe, number 2 is US, and number 3 is China. So in one of my visits from China, when I landed back on the lighter side, on the immigration desk, so this guy, immigration officer, coming from China, I said, yes. So you're in imports? I said, no, we export. Trust me, my friends, he got up and he did this. Somebody exporting to China is unbelievable.
It's still coming back smiling.
So far, so good.
Vijay,
I was intrigued by mention on your website that 5 years ago you got into SMPS manufacturing.
Yes.
So I'm wondering why this sudden diversification for unrelated, more complex product than Tamil.
When we say SMPS for our audience here, it's a product entrenched with electronics. Okay. if you would have seen in the website, we are also in interface modules, which is low end of the manufacture of electronics, which is putting the electronic things together on a board. That happened more than 10 years ago. At that point of time, as I said, what drove us? We had portfolio of connections, different type of connections. What we found, the big guns from Europe, they had a lot of electronic in them. So when you go to a customer, we were only connection people, they were solution providers. So there, this whole thing started that why not we become solution providers, which means in a control panel, you have the connections, you have some switching devices. In a control panel, either you have a switching device or you have a connecting device. So connecting devices we were making. So this low-end electronics started long back. We always kept this, again, it is again as I said, affordability of your company, how much you can invest in. So that started 10 years ago. And as you very rightly saw, we came across this switch mode power supplies, or SMPS as we call them. We collaborated with the company from Far East to bring out this product, to make our products portfolio as a solution to a control panel buyer. And we are, in future, we are going to provide more investments for that kind of products.
Vijay,
I have two questions. I was curious about your family background before you started the business and how it had an impact on that decision. And second question is, what next? Now that you are here, so what is the next thing you have in mind for the business? Knowing very well, you told me that you're not in the day-to-day activities as such, but still just want to know vision for future.
Family background. Yes. My parents migrated from Sindh, which is now in Pakistan. As I am told, my grandfather was in sugar business. He made a big loss and he died an early death. After that, my father, he took up some private employment and he was fortunate enough to get the same company coming to India after partition, working in that company. So it was a typical middle class story, but thanks to my parents, they, particularly my mother, who was just 4th class, who would love to have her children as doctors or engineers, as these are the only two professions in those days were thought of. Like either you have to be a doctor or you have to be an engineer. The third thing is you are a flop. So that was kind of a thing. But on the maternal side of my uncles and my mamas, as we call them, mamas and mausis, that's my mother's brothers and mother's sisters, uncles and aunties. They were in Bangalore. They were in cloth business and pharmaceutical shops and spare parts of auto, that kind of business. So in vacations, summer vacations, we were the only family in Bombay. All our other maternal families were in Bangalore. Must be about a dozen families. So we used to visit there. And I used to love to go to the shops and sit instead of going for playing around. Maybe that I used to be fancied with the cash counter, this money, cloth and umbrellas being sold in the shop and medical store. Like I used to wonder when the customer would give him prescription and he would go to that slot and bring the medicine. I used to ask him, "Kaise, how are you doing?" So these were some things, always running on your background, but then the whole thing